What's going on? It's your man, your brother, More Motivation. Today, I want to speak about what I was speaking about a few days ago, right? I was speaking about mental warfares, right? And the pop up when you're doing something new, you're outside your comfort zone, and you're in a place where you're not familiar, right? And what happens is you have doubt, you have negativity, or such as negative thoughts, and uncertainty, right? So today I'm gonna do things a little bit differently and talk about that, but in a different context. So the title of this is "Your Brain Doesn't Care About Success; It Only Cares About Survival," right? The brain is really a funny thing, right? You may have guilty pleasures, guilty addictions, and things like that, right? And the funny thing is, it's always so hard to quit. It's always so difficult to quit. And it's also difficult to do something that benefits you in the best ways, right? Whether if that's drugs, money, sex, whatever it is. And the trick is the more we do it when we're not supposed to or when it's over the top, the harder it becomes to quit. And that's crazy. And the more dopamine, the, Jesus, I can't talk. The more dopamine we release, the harder it becomes to do, or the harder it becomes to quit, right? And our brain just keeps us in, and this really tricks our brain into thinking we need those things to survive, which is not the case. Which is not the case. And when it comes to things that help us to be the best version of ourselves, to succeed, to rise over the top, to be the best we can be, the brain automatically just shuts off certain parts of your body, shuts off your motivation, makes you more tired, right? Makes you less motivated to do it and things like that. And it's funny, and it's really, really funny, right? And this is why I came to the conclusion that your brain doesn't care about success. Your brain only cares about you surviving, right? Or your brain only cares about what it thinks you need for survival. So, what are ways you can beat it? What are ways you can turn it around? Man, it really sucks to swallow this pill, but the only way to face that is by constantly challenging yourself, by constantly doing the things you don't want to do. It sucks, I know. It sucks to hear, I know. You have to keep waking up early, you have to keep training, you have to keep eating healthy, you have to keep doing things to better yourself, you have to keep studying, you have to keep trying to be smarter, you have to keep being the best you day by day by day. Because the funny thing about your brain wanting you to survive and about how it's hard to get over these addictions and how it's so hard to build new neural pathways in your brain. When you go away from a new habit that may be good, it's so easy to jump back to the old habit. It's so easy to jump back into the thing you're addicted to for a long time, that you cold turkeys, right? Did anybody ever wonder why? But why is it so difficult to do that for something that helps you? It's so funny. It's so funny how that works, right? So, how can we really trick our brain and make our brain bend everything to our will to succeed? How? The only way is by challenging yourself daily, by being consistent, and by not quitting. By not quitting. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And the more you've overridden those old bad habits, right? And then at some point, you know that you need to succeed to survive because you do, right? The more money you have, the more people you can help, the more you can help yourself. The more social status you have, the more connections you have, the more opportunities you have, you can really help yourself and your surroundings with. When you really think deep down about it, you do need success to survive. You do. You do. But your brain doesn't know that. Your brain doesn't know that. I'm using another part of my brain to think about that. So you have to find a way to make your subconscious mind believe that you need success to survive, right? And that's the only way you're gonna override those old, guilty, bad habits that may hinder you from going as far as you can. You know what I'm saying? And the brain is such a tricky thing, man. It's such a tricky thing. I wish I had all the answers, but this is what I know from trying things, right? And that's what's gonna take. It's gonna take you being a student of life. It's gonna take you wanting to know more about things and the reasons for everything, right? Why do I like guilty pleasures? Why is it so hard to quit things that aren't good for me? Why is it so hard to do things that are better for me? Why is it so hard to be in the comfort zone or be in the zone that isn't comfortable? Why is it so hard to try something new? Why is it so hard to lose ego? Why is it so hard to train, eat healthy, things like that? That will help me be more successful. And in logic, being more successful is something people need to survive. Really, really. The more successful you are, the more likely you are to survive in many aspects. In many aspects, right? But our brain tricks us and keeps us in comfort zones so we don't really see that potential, right? So, in closing this video, I want you to really think about what you tell yourself and what you get your subconscious mind to believe, because that's where it's from, your subconscious, right? You have to get it to believe that success is what you need to survive, right? Anyway, that's it for the video. Thank you for listening. Mula Motivation here. I am out. Peace.